I'm answering your guys' biggest questions that you left on my Gatling Laser sneak peek. These are questions about the mod, the future of the mod, and just general questions like that. The first question is, can you make the weapons use ammo? Yes and no. I can for smaller capacity weapons. For larger capacity, I can't do it precisely. I can do it in a kind of workaroundy way. The next question is, are you going to make waves? At this current point in time, no. I can't simply give NPCs the armor, as it just won't function properly and will conflict with your current suit. So there would have to be a separate set of armor specifically for NPCs, and I just don't really have the drive to do that right now. This question has been asked quite a lot, and that is, will the power armor change your height, and will you be able to grab stuff? And I'm also going to tack on, will it increase your strength? Because that's also been a major one. No, it will not increase your height. There's no way to do that. No, the power armor hands will not be able to grab anything. However, I have changed their handles to a lower priority. So if you're grabbing an NPC or weapon, it will grab those before it grabs the power armor hands. And will it increase your strength? This is a kind of. I've made the power armor hands insta-kill and send enemies flying backwards. So kind of, but I can't directly increase the player's strength because that's just not how Blade and Sorcery works. Can you make an opening Iron Man suit? I've been asked about Iron Man about 1,000 times over, and the answer to this is yes, I can, but at this current point in time, I'm not planning to. After I release the next update for Power Armor, I'm going to be moving on to a different project in Bone Lab, as I really need a break from Blade and Sorcery modding. Next question is, Fallout Fat Man? Yes. Yes, you can have the Fallout Fat Man. The next question is, could you maybe add back the old customization? I don't know entirely what this person is talking about. Every sneak peek before the paint one showed the exact same customization system that is currently in the mod. The only thing that's been added to the customization since then is the paint system. What other things are you planning on adding to the mod, and will the future updates be available on Nomad? All updates, present, future, and all future mods will be available on Nomad. In terms of what I'm planning to add to the mod, currently I'm planning to add a few more weapons, definitely paint, possibly a saving system, but time will tell if I can get that working. But that's mainly right now. The next one is asking how much closer I am to adding the Power Armor dock. Not any closer. I still need to figure out where the model is. Plus, it was never really meant to save between levels. It was just to make it easier to put and take off pieces. Have you thought of, or do you plan to use this framework to create other mods in the future? This version of it, no. A remade version of it, yes. Will the Nomad version stay up to date? Yes, it'll always stay up to date. Can you add the Raider modular power armor and also the Fat Man? I've already said yes to the Fat Man. In terms of Raider power armor, no, the model is broken on my end and I cannot gain access to it. The next and final major question is, will you do other weapons and armor such as the XO2 Gatling Laser and maybe a black version of the XO1? The Gatling Laser has already been made and is ready to go for the next update. XO2 will not be happening because the body model is broken on my end and I can't gain access to it. However, I do have the entirety of the Hellfire model, so that may be something that'll come in the next update, but that's a huge maybe and has a pretty low chance of happening. In terms of the black version of the XO1, with the next paint update, I am planning to add an Enclave XO1 skin, so look forward to that. I'm still not entirely sure what the other two will be, or if there may be more. Those were all the major questions I've been asked, but I also want to quickly go over what the next update will add. Currently speaking, there'll be 4 paint options to allow further customization. This is piece by piece as well, so you can have one arm painted something and the other arm painted another. I've completely reworked the standing armor to be easier to get into, with the top back piece no longer having collision when the suit is open for taller people to make it easier for them to get in, as well as changing the feet to be a ramp in order to make it easier to get in the suit without having to jump. I've also made the suit check to make sure you're not in power armor, so you can no longer stack suits. I've made it check to make sure you're far enough in the suit before closing, so it doesn't close and disappear if you're not far enough in it. And it'll check to make sure you have the operating license equipped and tell you to equip one if you haven't already. Currently speaking, the minigun is on the release version of the mod. The Gatling laser is coming in the next update, as well as the Fat Man. And the general strength improvements and overall just some general improvements to textures and other things. Other than that, that'll most likely be what's in the next update, and there's probably not going to be much more. The only other things we could possibly see, if I feel up to them, would be Hellfire power armor and possibly waves, but that is extraordinarily unlikely. The only other thing that could possibly added would be a saving system. However, the chances of that are pretty low, and current tests aren't too promising, as I haven't been able to get things to properly save, so there's really no guarantee that's going to be done in time. I would like to add it to Crystal Hunt, but that would require me to get a lot of stuff fixed, so that's probably not happening anytime soon either. In terms of the ETA of the next update, because I know a lot of people ask that as well, I can't really give it. As I've been adding more stuff, it gets more and more complicated to add it, it gets harder to add it, and at this point in time, it's up in the air when it'll come out, because I don't know when I'll be able to properly finish the update to a good enough level. So that was all of the major questions that I've been asked, as well as a small update on the next update and what will be coming into it. This will be the last major update for the time being, as I need to take a break and I'm going to go work on a Bone Lab mod in the meantime. However, I will return, and I may or may not bring a specific man in the metal suit with me as a new mod. However, that is all I have for right now. However, there's one more thing I want to leave this video out on. I am now taking commissions, and if you are interested in commissioning a mod, go ahead and email me at crimsonkitemods@gmail.com. I will put that in the description.